Alright, good evening one and all, and welcome to the video. In this video, I would be introducing you to the web components basically. So we'll learn how to create our own custom web components. For example, here you can see user card, right? You can pass attributes like name, and then that gets rendered on the HTML, or you can also pass value using slots. So this is how it's gonna show up. I'm gonna be showing you a very simple web component. So yeah, guys, let's get started straight back into action without wasting much of time. All right, so let me actually get ready. Let me put this here. So I do have a blank HTML here. I'm gonna start from scratch. Let me see, script tag, no need that. I don't need that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna start from very scratch for the web components. So let me just make sure that the this is working. I'm gonna collapse this. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna basically run this in a debug mode, basically, so that hopefully should open up a new window. And here you can see, sure enough, it works. So now let's start with a very simple web components. Okay, so the idea of this is basically, as I showed you in the previous thing, basically make a very simple card which takes a name, email, and stuff like that. So let's get started, man. What are we waiting for? I'm gonna get rid of this one right here. So what am I gonna do is basically I'm gonna create a custom component which is called as a user card. So this should give you a very nice idea on how a web component works. So basically the idea is basically convert your HTML code into reusable templates. That's the idea, right? Now what I'm gonna do is basically right here I'm gonna define a script tag. Okay, so the script tag is defined. Now what I will do is basically let me show you. So basically I'm gonna create a template. So const template document.create element. So I'm gonna call template, and now let's define our template here. Okay. Oops. Template. It's a backtag. Okay. Remember, it's a backtag and not inverted or semi or something like that. It's a backtag. It's this. This is usually above the tab character on the keyboard. So yeah. So this is where I'm gonna actually start writing my web component. So let me actually write a very simple web component, very easy component. So I'm gonna create a very simple div tag. Okay. What I'll do is basically, oops. Let me actually give some space. So I'm gonna call this as a user card. So I'm gonna call user card. Okay, so I've defined my div tag right here, and let me show you a very easy. What I will do is basically we'll just pass in a name. So there are two ways you can pass into a web component. One is using slots, and another is like an attribute, as I said, right? So actually, let me show you about the attribute. So here I'm gonna define an h5 tag, which is basically where I'm gonna pass my attribute. And let's basically give it a class, and let's name this class as a name. So that means that this is where the name is gonna go in a web name is gonna go, right? So now your web component is almost ready. Now we just need to write some JavaScript code. So yeah. So what am I gonna do is basically now I'm gonna say class, and we need to define our class. So I'm gonna say user card, and this should extend. Basically we are doing inheritance from HTML element. So I'm gonna say HTML elements, right? So we have done the inheritance. Now what we will do is basically we need to create a constructor, because every class has a constructor, right? This is basically common in object-oriented programming. So constructor, and here you can see super. As usual, whenever you do inheritance, you have to basically call the what do you say, parent class, base class constructor. Yeah, base class constructor. Now what you want to do is basically in this constructor you want to set certain things. So I'm gonna say this dot show info, and I'm gonna set it to true. Now what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna attach a shadow, and I'll tell you why the shadow is used in a moment. So I'm gonna say attach shadow, and basically give it a mode as open, mode inside inverted inside of course this, we'll say open, and don't forget the semicolon at the end. Now what we want to do is basically now we will basically append this child. So let me actually complete it. So this dot shadow root, so shadow root dot append child, and basically we'll append template dot contents. This will make sense. What I'm saying is this is basically the standard template, you know. So content dot clone node, and I'm gonna say true. Okay, this is a standard thing. Now whatever attribute you want to pass, you would basically start defining right here from here. So this is where it comes. So start writing the code. Start writing the code here. So what I'm gonna do is basically I want to pass a name attribute to the user card. So I want to say something like, you know, name. Okay, I want to do that, and I want it to be rendered. So in order to do that, basically you would say, let me tab it a little bit. You would say this dot, and you would say shadow. So you can say shadow root dot query selector, and you want to select that element. So remember the def where you want to insert it. So it's a class, so dot operator. So you use dot name, and then you would say dot inner HTML because you want to change it, right? And what do you want to change with this? So basically we will basically add your name, some space, and we'll say we'll use this keyword to get the attribute, this dot get attribute, and you want to give it a name of that attribute. Of course in our case it's name because that's what we are passing. So we have done that, right? Now all you have to do is basically you just have to declare the class. So you have completed it. So remember, only one thing you have to know is basically start writing code from here. This is usually the standard format. So shadow append. Okay, now what I'll do here is basically I just need to declare that. So I'm gonna say window dot, I'm gonna say custom element, and then I'm gonna say define, and you want to define user card, and of course you have to give the class name. Oops, user card. Perfect. So now your DOM has been defined. I mean your custom web component has been defined. Now you can use your web component by just passing the name, and this should work. Hopefully, if I have not made any mistakes here, should work. So let me see. So hey guys, congratulations! You just made your first very own web component. Wow, amazing! I want to show you a couple of things here. What you can do is each DOM element, if you want to give a custom CSS, a unique CSS to this only. So you can type your style. Now you might say, oh Somil, what if I say something like user card, and like if I say something like h5 here and then I give a CSS, will that be affected? If you want to give basically CSS to only your custom web components, you can define it here itself. So let me show you a demo out of it. So let me say h5, and let's say color is equal to red. Okay, so I basically give a custom color to this, so it should be red color. Okay, perfect. Now let me show you this. If I have an h5 element here outside the web component, so will this also be red? That's the question, right? So let me show you. So if I add this here and if I try to refresh it, it's black. So this component was only unique to this. Okay, now a question to you guys. If this, I'm using h5 here, right? What if, guys, if I do something like actually I'm defining some style here. So style, okay. Let me see, something has gone crazy here. For some reason it does not like that. All right, I can define it here. I just want to show you the concept, that's more important. Okay, so yeah, we have a style element. Let me define my style here. So I'm gonna say all the h5, change the color to green. Okay, question guys, now this name is in an h5, right? Will that be green or not? Or this would be green? So what I'm saying is when you give CSS, due to the shadow, basically what you did is basically this CSS is unique to your custom web component only. It won't affect any other CSS. If you write it inside this, let me show you, hold on. So refresh that. So you see both are h5, but the green was affected only on the main here and not this element here. So you see it's still red. Okay, so you hope you have understood the basics here, right? Now I want to show you basically slots, basically how you can pass data using slots. Okay. So far so good. You just define a very nice component where you can pass attributes like this. So if you want to pass data, there is another way you can do it, basically using slots. Let me actually show you. So let me define, let's say we want to have an email address, right? So what I'll do is basically I have to define a slot here. So I'm gonna say something like this here. So slot. Okay, so I'm gonna write slot like this. Okay, and I'm gonna give an attribute here. So here I'm gonna say name, and let's say you want to give email. Okay, so you define your slot. This is where the data will go. You are saying, okay, put it inside this. It's kind of a placeholder, guys. Now what happens is basically if you want to insert data, or if you let me show you how you can insert data into this. So email address, right? So you can say something like this to this if you want to pass data. So you would pass basically using div tag. Of course it won't be affected right now. Let me show you, hold on. So slot, and of course the slot name. So phone number 123 123 123. Okay, now let me actually refresh it and show you. Nothing happened, right? And the reason nothing happened is because you did not tell your web component about the slot. So that's why I wanted to show you. So you have to tell about the slots here. So you need to tell your web so how do you tell your web component about a slot? So we will write some script. So again we'll say damn it, oops, this dot shadow. So we'll say oops, so we'll say again like shadow root, and we'll say query selector as usual. And basically what I'll do is basically now you want to select that element, right? So this element right here. So I can say yeah, I mean, hold on one sec. Technically should work. Oh, it's email. That's why. I mean, I shouldn't be writing this. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Hold on. So I think you don't have to write it because I think I said phone, right? And here I said email. So all I have to do is basically just say phone here. Sorry for the confusion. I'm extremely sorry. So yeah, so you see it works. So okay, let me review that again. So if you want to pass data to a web component using slots, you do not have to write anything here. So you would simply basically write your normal HTML, and whenever you want to insert data, you would write your placeholder there, basically slot, give it a name, and then you can pass value to the slots using a div tag like div slot is equal to phone, and then you would give the value there. Hope this tutorial would be useful for beginners, especially who have never heard about web components. Yeah, hope this will help you, and if you have any more questions, yeah, please list your question, guys. Yeah, so one sec, let me show you one more thing here. So basically now if I want to replicate this, I don't have to rewrite my HTML code. You see what I'm saying? So I can just replicate my web component here. I can say Nitin Shah whatever XYZ, replicate that, and here you can see right? So this is how web component works. I hope this would be a very good start point for you guys. And if you have any more questions, list your questions below. One of the basically discussion I was watching on Stack Overflow is basically, let's say you have a platform, you're working on some, let's say ASP.NET or something like that, and your platform CSS, if you basically import your platform CSS on your web components, and if you are using that every single time, so one person was asking, won't that be like slow? And the answer is the browsers are pretty smart. It will only reload the CSS once. This discussion, I think, if I'm not wrong, while I was doing some reading here, Stack Overflow, web components, CSS loading. I think it was a very nice article I was reading, and they said like, oh, I mean, the browsers are pretty smart. Let me see if I can find that article. I'm not sure if I can find it right now on the spot, but it was a nice article. Basically, if you're importing CSS and if you're trying to use web components and again, will that CSS load again and again? No. I mean, the web browser will only load the CSS once. That's what the discussion was. Web component. I think something like that. I'm not sure what exactly. Oh yeah, I think this was the one. So yeah, here is the discussion. Says, so now I have a traditional ASP.NET website that uses a Meteonic Bootstrap template. Now I'm thinking to rewrite this website using vanilla web component approach. So I did a small test and I wrote a web component without the shadow DOM, and it seems my component just uses the Meteonic style. So, and it inherits from the parent page where it's included. So what he's asking is basically, if you create a custom, like if you pass your CSS, so if you observe, if you read this, thanks indeed, I read this, but my conclusion on this one was that would probably slow down. So he's asking, if you load entire like CSS, will it like slow down the site because those dependencies are downloaded each time? Is that correct? So someone at this answered, the browsers are pretty smart, and the link CSS file is only downloaded once and then used everywhere. So as far as I know, it's not even replicated, just used in each place. Pretty nice discussion here. I was reading about this. I would try to leave this discussion also on the description. I hope I have given you a nice overview of web components and it would be useful for you guys. So yeah guys, keep smiling, keep coding, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.